Hello, everybody. I'm Mike from the Rewatch Project Podcast, and I am a Trekkie watching classic Doctor Who for the first time. And I've reached the end of this, I think the fourth of the serials that I've been watching so far, the reconstruction of the long lost Marco Polo 7 parts. And this is the final seventh part, the Assassin at Peking. So I'm curious to see how this one finishes up. I've been enjoying this a great deal. Quick reminder that I appreciate feedback on the comments section of the YouTube video. So please, if you have any thoughts or contributions, or crucially, good nuggets of information to help me, this first time watcher of Doctor Who, learn more about the show and answer any pertinent questions that might come up, then that would be greatly appreciated. Also, please check out my other show, the audio podcast, The Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, which is also on this feed as well. But I'm really keen to see how this Marco Polo serial finishes up, so I'm going to hit play right now. There we go. So all the parts of the serial have been written by the same person. I think that's been the case all along so far. Ah, so it's personal power and glory that he seeks. Big surprise. Oh, is Tigana going to talk his way out of it again?
That's not true.
He's just so full of shit. It's incredible. Like, he really is. Comical Ali, that was the person I was trying to remember. Somebody pointed out in the comments, so thank you for that. Yeah, he's just incredible, isn't he? He's just such a prolific liar and so agile, and it's almost admirable, his skills in this area.
With Messer Marcus Polo's caravan.
Oh, flub.
We caught him with that.
Haven't been very many of this series.
I'm not the authority to judge in this dispute. And take us to Shang too. The Great Khan is left.
Great delivery. Take us to Shang 2. Almost James Mason-like in his laconic delivery. Very, it's got a bit of a James Mason energy, this actor has.
Tell us to Shang 2, my lord.
4,000 white stallions and 25 tigers.
That's not too bad so far.
Oh, is he providing some useful services here?
Buddha, which you know how it affects your gout.
This is great, isn't it? You know, Kubla Khan in this classic married dynamic here.
Nothing frightened him.
Do they do a Genghis Khan storyline eventually? That seems too tantalizing a possibility to have resisted for 60 years. I guess I'll find out at some point.
We are the planner, the statistician, the
That was a rhetorical question, by the way. I don't want to know. Don't want to be spoiled.
Furious. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Well played, Doc.
The warlord Tigana has arrived in Peking.
And his story, as always, checks out.
Directed to you.
No, we grant him an audience.
I will leave you to your game.
Is he not going to reveal what Ian told him,
Yes, your throw.
if he believes it? Which he seems to not. It's amazing how, like, you know, Ian and the crew get proved to tell one lie and their credibility is completely gone. Yet Tigana just continues to bullshit his way out of every situation. And, you know, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. It is funny. I mean, it's kind of like that in life, isn't it? There are certain people who just get away with stuff, you know, and often it'll get dismissed. We all work with people like this, you know, oh, that's just Jeff or whoever, you know, that's their way. Whereas everyone else gets picked up on it. It's like Tigana, that's kind of what makes him such a dislikable figure, is the office getting away with it person that we've all experienced.
I have sly old fox.
There's costumes.
I haven't even seen it yet, and he's taking it away from me.
Beautiful.
This will solve everything.
The Lord known as Ian and the Lady Pingchu are being held under guard.
Lord Ian.
Grandfather!
It's crazy that it's come down to a game of backgammon. It's like the Seventh Seal.
Grandfather, you're not lost.
The consolation
Or Bill and Ted's
prize.
Bogus Journey.
A piece of his paper. Ning Tao. Did you hear this?
Come on, Marco. See the light, dude.
That's a pity.
It's always a small person in these sort of court denizens, isn't there?
Thank you for it. With one's own kind.
Oh, he's good.
Your point is taken, Lord Tigana.
I swear, like, if there was a nuclear war, the only thing that would be left would be insects and Lord Tigana. He's, yeah, he's good.
Marco, thank you for our gift.
What have I that the Khan should fear?
That you look evil.
Power of persuasion.
Yeah, you don't bullshit a bullshitter. He can tell that he's got that. It's like a Loki figure. Yeah, you should have listened, Marco.
Worthy of our trust.
I tell you, the actor who's playing Kubla Khan is having to do a lot of heavy lifting with these long reams of dialogue. You know, these uninterrupted, unbroken takes. Yeah, good on him. Must be a stage actor, I'd imagine.
If you feel this to do,
I underestimated you, Tigana.
You overestimated yourself.
Ouch.
I always knew Tigana was a two-faced villain.
Yes, well, that doesn't help.
He is a two-faced villain, you're right.
Grandfather, do you mean to say Tigana's going to assassinate the Khan?
Exactly. And what could be a better answer?
So I guess we're getting into what are the rules of time travel with Doctor Who? Because, you know, I mean, is this a different timeline? Is this, if Kubla Khan gets killed, is that how he died in history? And is the show even worried about that, you know, about this temporal mechanics or whatever it may be? I tend to find that in populist entertainment science fiction, you're probably better off not thinking about it too much because you'll end up tying your head in knots. But it's hard not to think about that when you're dealing with historical events. I mean, again, I don't know how much specificity there is in the history books with some of these things, but yeah, it got me thinking.
To disorganize everything here, it gives no guy the purpose.
There's miming involved. That makes
Yes? Open the door.
it. An audio version of this is particularly challenged. If science fiction television has taught me one thing, it's that escaping from places is really easy.
Which way?
Although you do often get caught again immediately and then have to escape again.
lie down here.
No guy's army is marching on Peking. Tigana's in the throne room with the Khan now. Well, look, somebody must protect him.
It's almost like Marcus like, well, again, you know, I'm sure there's a perfectly rational explanation for this. It's just like, dude, come on. Wake up and smell the Tigana.
And stay here, all of you.
Your terms of peace are hard, my lord.
Tigana,
Very James Mason.
those who rise.
Whoops. Showing your true colours now, aren't you, Tigana? Oh, here we go. It's on. There had to be a sword fight. It's such a visual episode, this one, isn't it? You know, at the very least, I hope that they do an animation for this. Yes. Go on. Run him through.
We warned you.
Yeah, took you out of this one, Tigana. Bye-bye. You know, if I was for Doctor or Ian, I don't think I'd be man enough to resist told you sowing the hell out of Marco and Kubla Khan here.
Doctor, take the keys quickly. Thank you. Now go. Thank you. Go. Come along.
Go on, let's make the escape. Nice dissolve done by the reconstructor. The Sea of Death. So I also didn't cliffhanger them into the next adventure here. That's interesting. Yeah, that was a really fun show. Really fun serial. I'm glad that it did come down to a sword fight. It felt like it needed to. You know, it does have that adventure, swashbuckling travelogue element to it. And it did get, you know, like I say, it did get a little convoluted towards the end there. But I think that all the double dealing was very much part of the story. So I understand that. As far as this whole reconstruction thing goes, I'm glad that I did it, you know, and I think I will. I kind of have to go all in and get a little bit OCD about this, because if I'm going to watch this, then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to take the rough with the smooth. I hope that it's not too much of a deterrent for people to watch these reaction videos on YouTube. I don't know how well it translates. I make these things and put them out there. But at the same time, you know, I want to watch Doctor Who, and I don't want to be watching just the episodes that are fully available and then having people saying, oh, you know, this is because of this thing that you missed. My FOMO is just too much to allow that. So, and also I'm enjoying these, and I am relieved to see that this is quite a pleasant experience. And I grew up a geek as well, so I am used to audio books and comic books and expanded universe novels and viewfinders and all of the ephemera that goes with this. So I've got a pretty high tolerance. Growing up on the original 60s Star Trek, although I didn't watch that until it was in reruns in the 70s, and a lot of shows, the original Star Wars films, for example, when there wasn't as much of this stuff around, and you had to kind of find your way of celebrating these things, because it wasn't like everything got rebooted and sequelized. There was finite amounts of content, we didn't even call it that then, available. So if you were into something, you would absorb the books and all of this. And I don't see this as being any different. So I'm really glad that I'm doing it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode. I'm not sure if the next episode is available or whether it's a reconstruction or animation or live action or not, but I guess I'll find out very soon. A quick reminder to check out the Rewatch Project podcast, the audio podcast that's on this YouTube channel. Please do comment. Really appreciate getting those comments, or email at rewatchprojectpodcast@gmail.com. But I'll be back very soon to watch more Doctor Who. Thank you and goodbye.